Everyone, welcome back to a special presentation of NASS. Today is a nice little bonus episode, so all of our boils and ghouls can get a little taste of something spooky. Today, I will be your host, George. To my left or right is...
On my screen, it's me.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, we'll say all the way from Canada is...
I'm in the middle on my screen because I have
Oh,
you guys
okay.
like lined up like this. So I'm in a little George and Michael sandwich right now, and I'm Marie, the the creamy,
The cream of the crop.
Okay.
And last but not least,
Yeah, you're the bottom. You're the bottom.
Yep.
Michael on my screen.
that's something that I've never heard before. No,
Right, you don't live in West LA.
Minnie. I mean, you got my real name now, but I'm just Minnie.
Just a min dog.
I get weirded out when people call me by my real name now.
I know. I
Like,
know you do.
Yeah, like it's weird.
Are you just like this? Like what?
Like who the fuck are you talking about? Like there's you remember Ashley Green, right, George?
Yeah.
When I first moved to LA and we started hanging out again, she kept on introducing me as Michael. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like, you're Michael. It's like, no, nobody ever calls me that. They either call me Skylar or Minnie. Like, nobody calls me Michael.
Which is interesting since you guys went to college together and she would have called you Minnie in college.
Yeah, or Skylar. Like, those
Yeah.
were the two names that people called me in college.
Why Skylar?
Yeah.
That was my pledge name when Jose hazed the shit out of me for 7 weeks.
That is such a weird tradition you guys do over there. Like when I watch movies and there's like hazing and stuff, I'm like, this is legal? Like, is this allowed?
As long as nobody dies.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I remember hearing some of the stories that Jose would tell me his freshman year, the things he had to do. Nothing seemed dangerous.
Okay, good.
Nothing worse than anything I wouldn't have done on my own volition.
Okay. So that's more so in the movies that they show that stuff. That's really bad, I guess.
No,
And-
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say those things don't happen because my
Okay.
brother went to what's it called, Worcester Tech, and he told me because they had like the actual like the skulls freaking thing. Remember that movie? What's it called? The
Mhm.
Skulls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of that weird like cult frat that
Mhm.
did weird shit. They were
Mhm.
actually a frat at his school, and he told me
yeah.
they did some weird shit, like some fucked up shit. So
Yeah, no, like we didn't do any Animal House shit. Like nobody got paddled. But
Good.
Jameson,
like,
you need to stop
I
barking at
heard
me.
there was like a saran wrap moment where like they had to wear like saran wrap as underwear or like as clothing at one point or something like that. If I remember one of the stories correctly. This was with Jose's year of him being tortured, not yours.
Yeah, my class never had to do that. Although since we're going to be doing spooky stories, we did have to go to a haunted tunnel one night.
I've heard about that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
So.
just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But before we get into that, before we get too spoopy, let's stick to tradition. Let's keep it real for a second. What have you all been watching that you've either loved or hated?
My Minnie. I was gonna call you Michael by accident. Oops.
yeah, no, don't do that. I'll get weirded out. I mean, I haven't really watched anything new lately. I was gonna watch Tales of the Jedi because I knew this was gonna come up, but then I ended up doing laundry instead because I have an exciting life.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Did you love or hate the laundry?
Yeah.
Like what?
Did
what
any
was your take on that?
mysteries
I mean,
unfold?
I got one of those new Casper pillows, just because it's on Halloween. Fucking
Aw.
Casper the Friendly
Aw.
Ghost, like, might as fucking well try it. So,
Might as well try it.
Let's try it out.
Yeah, why not?
Why the fuck not?
Once you go Casper, you just don't go back.
Yeah, no, it's Christina Ricci all the way. No,
Mhm.
but no, I've been doing a rewatch of The Witcher since Henry Cavill's coming back as Superman,
Okay.
and like I honestly like I haven't seen anything of Cavill's that I haven't liked.
Mm.
Like
I
he's
think of anyone who has played Superman, because you know the curse of Superman, anyone who plays that character generally doesn't have a great career afterwards. It kind of just dies. he's been the one to break the mold.
Oh yeah,
He's
absolutely.
done successful things afterwards, and he's grown as an actor. It's been a really nice journey to see him go on.
Good.
Yeah, and just like the fact that he is a nerd, he is a geek,
Yeah.
and he fully embraces it. Like
Mhm.
him and what's his name? The guy who's married to the girl from Modern Family. He
Oh
played.
man,
He played.
you've left that one open.
Oh yeah, no, he played Deathstroke in the Justice League.
Oh, okay.
That guy,
Joe Manganiello.
Joe
Right?
Manganiello.
I think I said that right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he loves playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Like
Nice.
he's another guy who's like total jock. Is like, no, he likes his nerd shit.
He's a metal
Mhm.
nerd. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Cavill is Witcher is good. I can't wait for season 3. If that ever ends up going, since Superman's coming back. I'm sure that takes priority with his contract.
Yeah. We'll see.
But yeah, I've been doing a rewatch of The Witcher.
Definitely a good
I
watch.
highly recommend it. It's a 2-year-old show, but fucking do it.
Yeah.
I
How
think
about you, Marie?
I tried watching The Witcher once, and I was watching it through the Xbox Series X on Netflix, and there's no option on that console to turn off motion flow or like smooth eye stuff.
Oh.
And I don't know what like motion flow is on the TVs, or it makes it look like it's weird that I say I don't like it because I love found footage. It was like a handy cam and it makes it look like a soap opera.
Yeah.
And you can't turn it off on the Xbox. And I'm like, I think I just tried to watch it then. I'm like, I can't watch this. We have to turn it off. And I turned it off and I just never revisited The Witcher
Oh no.
on a different platform, which I'm going to have to, because apparently it's amazing.
It's
Super
It
interesting.
is.
The first season's weird because they do like a 3 timeline type thing. So figuring out when everything's taking place, but it all meets up at the end. And then in season 2, they have some exposition where they make fun of the 3 timelines and understanding how it's confusing as
Yeah.
shit, which is
fine.
really awesome.
Yeah. From what I've heard, though, the book is actually exactly the same way. So I can only
Probably.
imagine how that must be reading that. Because at least with TV, you get visuals. You can see something that'll give you an inclination like, oh, we're a different timeline now. Because I know this person existed there. But when you're just reading it, it's like, how does that work? If you don't mention the time jump.
Yeah, I will let you know in about 3 weeks because I have the first book and it's on my to-do list.
Okay.
Good.
We are interested.
I think maybe like if they did it like separate chapters, like this chapter will be about this and this chapter will be about that. Maybe it's like easier for your brain, but
that would make sense. Yeah.
We're gonna have to let Minnie tell us.
Yeah. From how my coworker said it, she made it seem like it's within a chapter you might jump 3 times.
Oh crap. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like that.
Yeah.
No.
Like at least with Game of Thrones, like it was set up by character. It wasn't really a timeline. Like, all right, this is everything that's happening with Tyrion. This is everything that's happening with Jon. This is everything that's happening with Eddard. And like it might be different points, but it's like this is the character and everything that's going on. And yeah.
Easier to follow that way.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, I have been watching and just finished the show on Shudder called The 101 Scariest Horror Movie Moments of All Time. That's the name. That's the title. I had to like look at it to make sure I got it. And it's wonderful. It makes me want to watch a billion other movies. I talked about this already with you guys.
You did, and that shows how good it is.
Well, because I just finished the last episode a few days ago.
Okay.
So I think I talked about it and then I didn't finish it yet. But yeah, I didn't really agree with the #1 spot. But okay. But it's really good. And it makes me want to watch a billion horror movies that I haven't seen, which is a lot of horror movies I haven't seen.
Do we want to do spoilers? Because I'm curious.
I want to know what the #1 spot was. Yeah.
Ooh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think the #1 spot should be in a horror movie? The scariest moment or the scariest like horror movie moment or movie in general, actually.
That's tough because I'm imagining this is spanning like from silent films or like at least black and white to now.
Yep. Yeah. And silent.
Are foreign films there too?
Yep.
Oh my God.
In my limited knowledge, because I don't really watch horror movies, I'm gonna say something from Alfred Hitchcock.
It's in there. There's some Hitchcock in there,
but
and
it's not number one.
I think it's in the top 10, maybe even, but it's not number one.
Okay.
So okay, I'm gonna try to narrow it down. Number one is in color at very least. Okay. Number one was also possibly filmed in the 70s. Or am I already off?
No, it might have been the 70s when this was filmed. Let me just look it up.
I don't think it's going to be
I think
I don't think it's going to be from the 80s or to now. I don't think anything's going to get that. I think it has to be something 70s or back.
It's 70s, yeah.
Okay, it's 70s. Okay, I'm getting there. I got it. I'm wearing my famous monster shirt. I got to get this. I got. Okay, so we got 70s. It's in color. I think I'm going to take my shot, and I'm going to say it has to be for my favorite movie, The Exorcism.
The Exorcist? No.
Or The Exorcist, not The Exorcism. The Exorcist, yeah. Favorite movie? You said it wrong. Damn.
It's not The Exorcist. That. And I thought it 100% should be, because that is the scariest movie ever made.
Yeah, because if it's not that opinion. 70s, then like Rosemary's Baby is still a good high one up there.
It's in there, but not again. No, I'll tell you if you want me to tell you.
Tell me.
Spoiler.
Tell me.
Okay, the spoiler is coming for anybody listening or watching that doesn't want to know. I think The Exorcist was like number 6, and I think it should have been number 1.
6?
Even that, yeah, I think it was like 6. I'm like, no, come on. Anyway, number 1 was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
What?
What? What scene?
It showed a couple. They show like various scenes through it, and then there's people like there's like directors and producers and actors and makeup artists that like talk about why it is the scariest. And I was just like, oh. I honestly have never seen the original one ever.
I mean, it's not bad, and I get for the time that it was in. For the time that it was in, I get it. I get like there wasn't anything else like it. You know, it's one of the first slasher films, and it's very gross. Like you feel dirty watching that kind of film.
That's why I haven't watched it.
But I picked The Exorcist because The Exorcist was rated X when it came out. Like that's such an important rating. Like things that are rated X, you think naturally of a naughty film. You're not thinking of a film that can get nominated for an Oscar. You know? So it's like, to me, that's the one.
And then the scenes they showed for the Exorcist one is like, they showed a lot of scenes, but like the crucifix to the crotch and like the mom's head in there. And it's like, how this is the scariest shit that has ever been anywhere. I don't know how the Texas Chainsaw Massacre topped it, but alas.
Which is weird because in the most recent Child's Play, the one that was voiced by Mark Hamill, there's literally a scene where they're watching the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and these kids are laughing at it.
Yeah.
They're laughing at it, and it's to the point where the Chucky doll, the AI, is like, oh, this is what they like. Now I'm gonna start doing this. And that was number 1.
That was number 1.
Okay.
That was number 1. I know. I was like, what? Like, no. Like, anyway, I still recommend the show as a whole. Like, it's really well done. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
But I disagree highly with the number 1 choice.
Yeah. I can't be behind that. Like, I get that it helped spawn a genre, but so did The Exorcist. So,
people be puking in the theater during The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Fainting and throwing up. Like, come on. Yeah.
My mom would talk. My mom saw that movie in the theater when it came out. She was probably a preteen or a teenager. Comes from her mother, very Catholic. All right. But open-minded enough. Now, her mother, like, actually, I say her mother, but I think this was actually her grandmother, but she raised her straight up from Puerto Rico and everything. And like I said, super Catholic, would watch her Sunday masses every week. But she brought her to this thing, not knowing what she's getting herself into. And my mom, she knew what she was about to watch. She was so excited. She had her big thing of popcorn. Her mom had her popcorn. And her mom's like 2 to 5 minutes in. She's like, oh, fuck this. And she couldn't. She was like, and my mom was like, there's blood and puke and everything. And she's like, this is so great. And she's looking at her like, what's wrong with her? And she's like, you're not eating your popcorn. She's like, you can have it.
Yeah.
Just totally grossed out. I think she walked out at one point. She said, but she loved it.
God.
One of her favorite things. One of the first horror movies she showed me it when I was like 5 years old.
No,
I've loved it ever since.
Georgia's mom is awesome.
she
Yeah,
sounds
and
amazing.
I'm a weirdo because of it. Like I've told people
Yeah.
this story, and they're like, "Your mom showed you The Exorcist when you were 5?" And it's like, "Well, my mom saw it when she was a kid in the theaters." And it's like,
Oh
"What's
my
wrong with your
God.
family?"
Yeah. No, Georgia's mom is awesome. Like, I remember the first time that I met her. I'm not a heavy drinker, but the average person, like I can outdrink. His mom put me to shame. Like, his mom's
God.
awesome.
She sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's
I
one of
was
those moms that everyone loves. Yeah.
I was like a 12 or 13-year-old little Catholic girl when I watched the Exorcist at a sleepover, and I remember like dry heaving, and then I couldn't sleep without the light on for like with the light off for 6 months. Like I had to sleep the light on for 6 months straight.
But it's not the number one most scariest.
It is though.
It is. I love
In
the
our
movie.
hearts.
I love it, and even I to this day, like I watch it during the daytime. I'll never watch it at night. And even during the day, I'll still see shit. You'll still get a little spooked out because that face, like not just her face, but the other face that you'd see in the background of the demon. It's like there's layers of terror from that film.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's perfect, but it's horrifying. I can't do it.
Well, sticking with the horror theme, I've been watching the Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. I just finished it this morning, and I loved it. I thought it was everything I wanted and more. It's full on like Lovecraftian inspired. I think one story actually is written by Lovecraft, and it's every episode, 8 episodes. They launched it I think on Tuesday, and it's been 2 episodes every day since. And yesterday was the last day with the last 2 episodes, and it's good. Yeah.
Is it Amazon or Netflix? Because it popped up the other day.
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, Netflix. And every episode's at least an hour long, if not a few minutes longer. And I felt like I was watching a movie in every episode. Like every director has their own unique voice. It shows, and I was just telling my wife this morning, like, I can't believe that this is considered a series, like a TV show. I felt like I just watched a mini marathon of films. These felt like just nice classic told like film stories. I was just blown away by all of it, and the visuals on everything. No surprise with Guillermo behind it, everything's gonna look amazing. You know, a lot of practical effects. You know, with that nice CG layering where they use the CG properly, so it complements the practical stuff. And it's creepy. It was deep with a lot of the stuff that they told. Like it wasn't just like there was like no jump scares kind of thing. Like this was actually thought-provoking kind of horror and stuff. It's like how Lovecraft is. Lovecraft has that more internal madness that goes on, and that's where all these things had.
Yeah.
I've
definitely
only seen
worth
the
watching.
first 2. I've only seen the first 2 episodes so far, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm chipping at it. I'm chipping away.
Good day. Like I feel like I constantly need to say this, but I'm not a huge horror fan. But the one thing I hate when I watch horror movies is jump scares. Because it's so fucking cheap.
It's probably why you hate horror. So I'm not hate, but probably why you dislike horror is because the jump scares are just like,
I went to Not Scary Farm. George, I'm sure you're aware of it. I'm not sure if you are, Marie. It's a theme park out here in LA. And most of the theme parks they end up doing their horror nights, scary nights during October. And being the non-horror fan that I am, I wasn't thrilled about going, but the girl I was taking out really loved horror movies. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll suck it up and go.
You gotta do it.
And I'm walking through all of the mazes, and there were only 2 times that I jumped the entire night. And it was purely because of jump scares. And it was one of them, we were walking through one of the mazes, and I like made eye contact with the actor. I knew exactly what he was gonna do. Like I'm staring at him, and it's like you're not gonna fucking get me. And then all of a sudden he has this like little 2x4 in his hand, and he slams it on on one of the counters next to him, like, motherfucker, and knew it. And oh, son of a bitch. I hated it. I hated it.
I don't like going to those things. I love horror movies, but I don't like going to things like that. Like I love watching horror movies, but I don't want to be like immersed in a horror. Like I just like no, I get too scared. I don't know. That's a good date idea though, because like was she at least like, oh, I'm scared? Was she at least holding her arm, or was she just like, what? Bring it? Like
no, he was holding her arm.
Yeah.
No. It was a role reversal because she loved horror movies. I'm not a huge fan. She got more scared during it than I did.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a very reactionary type person. So honestly, like the entire night, my hands were in my pocket because I was very much like if somebody gets me really good, I'm gonna swing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get thrown out. So like I was trying to like just stay as contained as possible. I mean, I'm a fucking 5'6", 146 pounds. I'm not going to do any fucking damage, but I'm going to swing.
Yeah, that's a normal reaction. Like, yeah.
That's where you and Jen are very, very similar. My wife is the same way. And like, Marie, I'm with you in that sense of like, oh, it's a good date thing. Take them to the scary thing. They're going to be like, oh, I need you. And it's like, yeah, because I've done it in the past. I'm not going to pretend like I've never done that. I've definitely brought girls to freaking haunted house things. And it's just like, I'll protect you because I'm not afraid, you know? And I would have done that with Jen, but Jen's like, she warned me way ahead of time. She's like, if someone tries to jump scare me, I will punch them in the face. And she told me about a story where like a clown like jumped in front of her and she punched the clown in the face. So it's like, all right, now I know not to do anything exciting like that with you because I don't want to get arrested. Oh yeah, she is very feisty. Yeah.
Love it.
Mike has met her and he's seen she's a little thing herself. But yeah, she don't take no shit from anybody. We worked together at a supermarket when we first met each other. And we had some bigger guys. Like we've talked about how our heights. I'm close to 6 feet. Some of our other guys that we worked with were easy like 6'2", 6'5". And she would tell them, it's like, if you fuck with me, I will kick you in the head. And they're like, you can't even like kick me in my knee. How are you going to kick me in the head? And I remember like she got up on like one of like the little pallets or whatever that we had, and then she lifted her foot up and kicked straight up and almost kicked them in the face. And that was the warning shot of like, try me. And after that, there was like, yeah, okay, don't fuck with Jen, man. She'll fucking kick you in the face.
Fuck around, find out.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's when I knew. I was like, I gotta marry that chick. She's the one.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, she got my back.
Should we bring it up, George? Just because we were talking about marriage, and so the reason that Dan, Kevin.
Oh, I don't know if we can bring it up. I never got a response to say that it was okay.
Well, I'm gonna fucking do it anyway.
Okay, that's on you. I didn't say it. No. All right, my hands are clean.
Dan said to bring it up, so I'm gonna fucking bring it up. We're recording this on Saturday. Hopefully it's out Sunday, Monday. But the reason that Dan, Jose, and Kevin aren't here right now is because Jose's getting married.
Yep.
He's getting married. They're all at the wedding, and none of us were invited.
Yeah, especially not me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, especially.
Actually, no, that's a lie. I was invited. I just didn't have the money to go.
It's like total. It's like opposite.
I'll be the one to call out the fact that I have known Jose since we were in high school, sophomore year high school. So teenagers. I've known him the longest in this group. That's not true. I take that back. Kevin's known him the longest because they knew each other in elementary school. But me and Jose have hung out a lot longer. And I found out he was getting married about 2 weeks ago from Dan. I wasn't even told by Jose.
Yeah. So secretive.
So basically, we're gonna congratulate him, but we're also gonna put him on blast.
I don't know. George is.
We're also putting him on blast.
Yeah. I'm very sad. I'm very hurt. At the same time, I'm so happy inside because my boy is freaking getting married, and it's the best thing in the world. I love being married. It's the best thing that's happened to me. So every time one of my friends finds that one, I love love. As much as I love horror, I also love love. Love is the best thing.
Those are my two favorite too.
Yeah.
Those are my two favorite
Scary
things in the
love.
world. Yes, scary love. I want to love so hard it scares the shit out of me. Yeah.
So I'm overjoyed for the guy. And Jose, I hope you're having a great day today. All right. And Joe, congratulations. You got a great guy. Take care of him. He needs it.
Yeah. Take care of each other and go to a haunted area and hold on to each other, and one of you be the protector.
Yeah. Protect Jose.
One of you is the protector.
Jose's a big baby.
Jose needs it.
Yeah. He puts on a strong front, but he needs all the hugs.
Yeah. He's a what, 6'1" teddy bear.
Yeah.
That's cute.
But enough of that mushy stuff.
Yeah.
We're not here for that. We're here for the good shit. Now, all of us love horror films. We love seeing our scary movies, except for Mike.
Yeah.
And we always got to wonder, it's like, where did this come from? You know, we know things like Nightmare on Elm Street came from Wes Craven having bad dreams and seeing an article about a serial killer and stuff like that. Horror movies they come from something that's real, and generally it's experiences. So why not today, on this, for hopefully some of you will be All Hallows Eve, talk about our own personal spooky experiences that we've had and endured. So maybe we might believe they're real, they might not be. I don't know. We'll find out. Now, Mike, I figure we'll start with you. I know we talked about this earlier. You weren't too ecstatic about it. You know, you're not our resident horror guy. And, you know, you said you didn't have anything too interesting, but I think me and Marie should judge that. I have a feeling you have something better for us than we're anticipating you do.
I mean, if it ends up being more exciting, that just means I'm a fucking great storyteller.
The test is if it makes my eyes water. That's the test if it's scary, because that's the reaction I have when I talk or listen to paranormal things. So let's see.
Am I doing both of them or just one of them right now?
We'll do one. Well, I'll go off with just one. We'll start with that.
Okay, so then I'll go with the first one. So because we were talking about, actually both of them have to do with me being in a fraternity, because they happened in college.
Okay.
So I was during the summer of my freshman year, I was living in the fraternity house. It was me and about 2 or 3 other guys, and we were all hanging out in the living room. Now, the way the living room was set up was it was kind of like it wasn't a square rectangle. It was one of those like weird like 5-wall rooms.
Okay.
Where the doorway was on like the smallest part of the wall, to the outside at least. And we had a mirror that was set up so that you could be sitting in almost any point part of the room and look up and see who's coming into the house. Like really easy way to just like look up and say hi to the person as soon as you saw him going through. So we're all sitting there, we're hanging out, we've had a couple of drinks, and we hear somebody open the door. So we look up at the mirror, and it's probably around like 7-8 o'clock at night. Like it's dark out. All we see is a silhouette. So we can't make out who it is. So we're just like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like, come on in. And silhouette just stays there. So like, all right, well, what the fuck? So we get up and we go into the hallway to see who's there, and there's just nothing. So that's my first supernatural experience, where I just like, we see the silhouette, like, come on in, like walk over, nobody's there. Like there was a path to upstairs, the apartment that was above us at the same time.
Yeah.
Didn't hear anyone walk up the stairs. It was just the door opening, the silhouette, and then gone.
And the silhouette stayed there, like it didn't move. It was just
it stayed there, but when we went to go look, because it wasn't coming to us or going up the stairs, then there was nothing.
Ugh.
We have 10 minutes remaining in this meeting.
Oh gosh.
So I think it's important to add, because I know the place you're talking about. I've been there. This was in North Adams, Massachusetts.
It's not the house that you were thinking of, though. No, you're thinking of the sorority house. The one that we were in, it was the only, like, one of the only years that we had it. It was close to it, but it was right around the corner. I have another one with the sorority house, though.
So you said the frat house. So,
yeah.
Right.
Are you familiar with Porter Street?
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah. It's that house.
I visited North Adams a lot.
Yeah. How the hell did I didn't meet you until we started playing Call of Duty Zombies together?
I do not
Aw.
know. I want to say I visited every year that Jose was there, and we went multiple times. If there was a Halloween party, I was there. If there
But
was
you wouldn't have
a,
known because you were in costume, so you wouldn't have known who each other.
I don't really cover my face. You don't cover this up. You know what I mean? Especially I'm there. I was young. I'm there for a reason. There's girls there. There's
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, man.
Fucking weird. Okay, but yeah, it was the Porter Street house.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of homes in Massachusetts, since it's one of the original colonies states, it's got old architecture. That's what makes it creepy, because you know that those stairs would have creaked. You know that the floor would have creaked. It's all wood. It's old wood. How was sleeping that night? I bet sleeping was a little off, or did you just take a few shots and you're like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, I was drunk. I slept like a baby.
Okay.
I didn't think about it. I was blacked out at one point. That's probably one of the last things that I remember that night, is seeing that, and then it just disappeared.
That was it.
Yeah.
And then don't remember the rest of it.
You slept like the dead.
Maybe woke up like a zombie a couple of times to go to the bathroom. That was
Oh man. I got a little bit watery when you're talking about that. I got a little bit of chills and some wateriness.
Okay.
I saw the Harlem Shake come out of you too.
I was like, ooh, just lurking in the doorway. Ooh.
Yeah. And now that we've gone through a Minnie's spooky experience, Marie, what do you have in store for us?
Well, there is a hotel in my city called the Fort Garry Hotel, and it is well known for being haunted, especially one room in particular, which is room 202. And the story behind the room is that it's a very classic ghost story. That there was a newlywed couple there staying, and the wife had like a really bad headache or something like that. And the husband went out to go get like some medicine for her. And then he died while he was out there getting her medicine. And then I don't know if this is true. And then she was so heartbroken that she hung herself in the closet in this room. So I used to work with a girl a long time ago, who used to also work at the hotel. So she got us the room there for like real cheap 3 times. So when I was younger, I would say 16, 17 years ago, I stayed in that room on 3 separate occasions. And the room, the closet in this room is kind of almost like an attached wardrobe. Like it's not like a flush with the wall closet. It comes out. So you easily could be in there. Like you could go in there, close the door, and it's like its own little entity in this room.
Like Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe kind of thing.
Kind of, but it's like built into the wall, but it stands out. It sticks out. So the first time I went there, we went with several girlfriends. There's probably about 6 of us there all together, and we're all young, and we have our little Ouija board, and we're like, oh my God, look out. I know people hated us probably. So we were there, and let's just say by the end of it, it was just me and my friend who booked it left. All the other girls left. They took off because they were so scared. So I'll try to sum up like all the things that happened over the time to stay there. So the first time we got to the room, checked in, left to go out for dinner, came back, and there was 2 messages on our phone in the room. Okay. The first message was, I think, the boyfriend of the girl who booked it, and saying like, oh, you guys like have fun, whatever. And there was another message. This sounds silly talking about it. And it was like all like classic, like staticky and stuff. And it sounded like there was like a whispery voice. And we're like, oh, we were like, oh, it's someone playing a prank. So we went down to the lobby, and we're like, oh, we got this weird message on our phone. And they were like, oh, well, we only transferred 1 phone call to your room tonight. And we were like, okay. So then we were like, oh, come on, someone's still fucking with us, like whatever. But then my friend and I were just like sitting on the bed, and our other friends were like wandering the halls. And then from the closet, we suddenly heard this like slow, like dragging, scratching type sound coming from the closet. And we're just like, okay, that's weird. And then we waited, and then it got like louder, like this dragging sound and scratching, and we didn't open it, and we like text our friends and we're like, come back to the room, and they all came back, and they, as soon as they got there, they were like, what'd you guys hear? And then right away again, it was like coming from the closet. We were like, ah, screamed like that. So that happened, that scratching and dragging noise happened every single time I stayed in that room.
Ooh.
Every time. The second time I went with the same girl, it was just her and I. The sound happened. We were pretty freaked out. We were like determined to stay all night, but we had our bags packed by the door, and we were trying to stay up all night because we were already scared. So we're watching Conan O'Brien, and the reason why this is so stands out to me so much, it was my very first time watching Conan O'Brien, so I'll never forget this. And the TV was old, like it was old even for the time I went. Like it was like kind of like a boxy tubey, I swear it had like push buttons type thing, I don't know. And we're watching like Conan, and then the TV shut off by itself, and we looked at each other and we're like, okay, maybe it was just like whatever wiring, who knows. There was no timer on it. It was like that old. There was like no timer. So we were like, do you want us to go? So we were like, okay, let's just go. And then we go to leave. And as soon as I put my hand on the doorknob, the TV turned back on by itself, like full volume. And we were like, we just left. That was the second time. And the third time I went there, it was a different group of friends. And what we decided was, we always hear this noise in the closet. So let's open the closet and push the hangers all to one side. So if anything happens in that closet, the hangers will be moved or something. So we did that. Nothing happened all night long. And then everyone was falling asleep. And then I'm a very late sleeper. Like, it's annoying. And I heard this like noise coming from the closet. It almost sounds like it's dragging on the carpet, but also on the wall, scratching. It's a weird sound. And then I like got up and I was like, frozen, and everyone woke up like, what? I'm like, they heard the noise more, and they were like, that's it. And we opened the closet, and the hangers were all like spread out in different spots and like kind of moving very slightly. And now I'm just like, okay, what? And to this day I'm like, do they have a trap door in there? Are they fucking with us?
Yeah.
Are they just trying to get people like come in and to get the money, because you have to pay extra to stay in this room because it's in such high demand.
Okay.
But so I stayed there again this year, like a few months ago, and I by myself, all alone. And I remember walking into it, had cameras and everything. I remember walking into the room, and when I saw that closet, I was like, oh, I almost like want to throw up. And I like stood, I just like stood against that wall on the opposite end, just staring at the closet. I'm like, I can't move, I can't. But you know what? Nothing at all happened that night at all. I was so disappointed. Nothing.
So they didn't recharge those batteries for those wall mice.
Exactly, right?
So I got a story that's similar to what you were talking about, with like the theory that the hotel staff is fucking with people. So again, this is back in North Adams. There is a Masonic temple which used to be a mansion, and there was a whole horror story on like somebody in the family went crazy, killed all the family, like it's haunted. And it was supposed to be on one of the ghost hunting shows. So like they had the staff come out, and they were going through everything. And at the time I worked at Best Buy with one of it was turned into a Masonic temple. And I worked with one of the Freemasons who went to the temple regularly. Ooh. So he was telling me all of this, and it was like, yeah, dude, we fucked with them so much.
Those shiesty like, Freemasons.
Yeah, it was like all the vents that were connected, we were on the other side, like, ooh, just fucking with them the entire night.
See, that's why I still like to this day, I don't know. I've never really seen anything with my eyes completely. So I'm always like, oh, it's probably just this, but I do believe in stuff. I want to. I think it's cool to like believe in ghosts. I want it to be real. But there's like tons of other stories from other people about that room I stayed in, like a woman they see, people getting into bed next to them, they can feel it. So it's like not just me, there's tons of stories about it. So maybe it's real. I don't know.
What I would question, I would want to do is that the wall where that closet is, where you hear the scratching, is there a room adjacent to it? Like, is it right next to it, or is that connected to the hallway?
Hallway.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, it's like I'd want to be like sit next to the room on the other side. It's like, what are the connecting rooms here when there's stuff going on in that room? You know what I mean? Or maybe someone stays in the hallway. And it's like, all right, what do you hear out there? Do you hear the thing? Do you?
That'd be a good test. Okay, I'll sleep in the room tonight. You stay in the hallway.
Yeah.
We're gonna scientific method this shit.
Yes.
Because I'm a believer, but at the same time, I'm all about science.
Yeah.
Well, I need proof and facts and stuff like that.
Yes.
I need things that are tangible, you know?
Same. So I don't know. I even had like a heart to heart with the ghost. I was like, I'm not going to be scared. Just come give me something, please. I just want to see something. I won't be scared. You can trust me. It's okay. We're both girls.
I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah,
We're sisters.
Oh man. So yeah, that was that.
Yeah, I gotta say the Ouija board thing. It's like, if you believe that the place is possibly haunted, I wouldn't want to test it further by unlocking a door. Granted, I don't know, Ouija boards are made by a game company. They're not
like
anything
Mattel or something.
Yeah, you
Parker
know.
Brothers.
But the idea of them is an old thing that people who believed in witchcraft would use. So it's just like, I don't want to mess with any of that stuff.
See,
I don't want to push the limits. I just want a little taste of to know that, all right, this is real.
No way. I'm like, show yourself on the Ouija board. Like, show me. I want proof. I want to believe.
You want the demon inside of you. For me, I just want to be like, hey, demon, just be there.
Yeah.
There, not here. This is closed. This occupado.
I can't remember if I sent it to the thread, but I know I definitely sent it to Maria. It was like sometimes, you know, letting a demon take you over your body for 24 hours like doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Oh, I think I saw that message.
Yeah. Let somebody else take the wheel for a little bit.
That'd be nice.
I mean, nice little break.
If they want to be in me when I'm getting like hit in the groin or something like that, then yeah, you could take those 5 minutes of pain. But all the good stuff I want.
What's yours, George? What happened to you?
So
let's hear it.
I do have a couple. I feel just for time issue, I want to go with the one that is the callback to Jose story back in another episode. So that I don't remember which episode it was, but it was very recent, where they talked about a movie called Session 9. And that movie was based in Massachusetts, in Danvers. There was an institute there, an actual mental institute, where they actually had some of the most, we'll say, psychotic people and everything, plus low level things. It's I want to say, I believe that it's also the hospital where they may have had one of the first, either the first lobotomy or at the very least the last lobotomy. But that happened a lot in that hospital. So obviously some really bad things happened there.
Right.
But you know, it got closed down and everything. Eventually it was getting to a point where they were actually going to tear it down, and I think put housing or something else there. But needs to say, our group of friends who love scary things and horror and all that stuff, we heard about this, we saw the movie, and we're just like, it's right there, like, let's go. It's like a 10-15 minute drive for us. Let's just head up there. So I know the first time they went, I didn't get to go with them, but they claimed that they saw something. Like they were driving down, like it's the path to the hospital, it's darkness. It's just like a dirt road of darkness. There's woods on both sides and you can't see shit. And they told me that they drove up there, and out of nowhere, a lady just bam appeared in front of their car, and they had to stop, and then she kept on walking. And it's just like, I heard this, I was like, how'd you guys not take me? And
how dare you? First of all,
ask the important questions first, George.
Yep. And it's like, and if we go again, I must be there. And so I believe this was a graduation day for, I think, Tanya's younger brother. Mike, you should know Tanya.
Yeah, I know Tanya.
She went to school.
With Tanya.
Yeah, she went to school with you guys. Yeah. So I want to say her younger brother was graduating from high school, and we're all hanging out for whatever reason. All of us were together. I didn't even know her brother until that day, but for some reason I was there.
Nice.
And so we had, graduation. We went out to go eat dinner, but now it's the night's unwinding. It's like, what are we gonna do now? And that story got brought up. And so her brothers and his friend's like, yo, we gotta go there. Let's do this. And I'm just like, yes, let's go. Now, I must preface this with the fact that both me and Jose, in our younger years, loved drinking Captain Morgan rum, and B, would often also drink a whole handle each. This was one of those nights.
Okay. Okay.
Where prior to getting there, we had already polished off a handle of Captain Morgan rum. So we're feeling good. Yeah.
We're almost dead. We almost need a stomach pump, but it's okay.
They're not almost dead. That's like pre-game.
Yeah, Mike has been with us when we drink, and it's like back in those days. Oh yeah, we're still pretty level-headed. We're still
I've known Jose for, again, we've mentioned this earlier, since 2004. I have not seen anyone. Haven't seen you and Jose drink together that much, George. But I haven't seen anyone that can drink more than Jose, and I have never seen Jose throw up from drinking.
Ooh, that's why he can just keep going.
I have.
Oh. Was it this night?
It was not this night. No. It was his birthday, but that's nothing spooky happens on that day.
Puking's always spooky.
But I have witnessed it. I've witnessed him once, and I think he's witnessed me at least once, maybe twice. So both of us don't have many times. Yeah. We could probably each count on one hand how many times each of us has thrown up. It's kind of ridiculous, the iron stomachs that we have.
Alcohol does not affect them.
Yeah. And I will explain how much it didn't affect us later within the story too.
Oh my gosh.
So we convince everyone to go. The girls don't want to go. Tanya doesn't want to go. Another friend of ours, Vanessa, she doesn't want to go. They're like, this is stupid. Let's not do this. Alba, I don't know if you met Alba. Right, Mike?
I was gonna wait until you were done with the story to make this comment, but since you're asking now, It is so weird how many of your high school friends that I know, and again, I didn't meet you until you were already in LA.
I know,
playing Modern Warfare Zombies together. Like, I know all of these people.
Yeah,
destiny.
So, and I didn't meet you until what, like 2012,
something like that. It wasn't until LA. Yeah. But so yeah, a lot of our high school friends are there for this. Alba's the only girl who is down. Like, she's like, let's go. She's like, I'm afraid. This is scary, but why not? Like, she's one of the guys.
YOLO.
Yeah.
Before YOLO was a thing.
Yep. And so we go. So we go up there. It's dark and everything. People are already getting scared. Eventually we park, and we had to park a little further away because there is security there who's making sure no one does any stupid shit. You know,
like what they were about to do that night.
Exactly. Yeah. So part of this operation is also very covert. We have to be very much, sneaky little assassins about this thing. So me, Jose, Alba, and I want to say Tanya's brothers and friends all get out of the car. Vanessa and Tanya stay in the car with Mario. They're not doing this. Mario's our driver. All right. And it's like Mario's he's being the protector. He's like, I got the girls. I'll make sure that everyone's safe.
But really, he's like, thank God I have to stay here with the girls. I didn't want to go in there.
Yeah. I'd like to say Mario would have went with us. Mario's a brave guy.
Yeah. But Mario's a big dude too.
He is, yeah. Nothing's gonna take him down.
Again, it's weird how many of your friends that I know and we meet each other.
So we get up, we go to the front of the building, and me and Jose are like, ducking low. We're ducking really low and everything. And eventually, we get to the front. It's all locked. There's padlocks and everything. But we're trying to jimmy it and stuff. We're listening in, like, what do we hear? And you can kind of hear some little things and everything. But there's homeless people that probably live there. There's rats. We're not thinking too far into it. It's like, it's probably people or something.
Yeah.
So nothing.
Which is also kind of scary in its own way. But
true. Yeah. But when you're like 20 something and freaking a little buzzed, you're not afraid of anything. Yeah. It's like, I am a trained fighter. I can fight. Jose's freaking like 6'1", 6'2". I'm not worried. I think we could take care of ourselves. Okay. Alba has a purse this size of a trunk. Like, we're good. We're good, you know?
Yeah.
But eventually, even she gets to a point, she's like, I'm going to stay here. I don't want to go any further. And so we tell like Tanya's brothers, like, all right, you stay with her. You watch and make sure nothing happens to her. You're now her protector. All right. So now they can't go any further. But me and Jose, we got to know. We got to see something. Yeah. You know, so we start going around the building. We see like a little playground and like this little other fixtures and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden, we start to hear something inside the building, a little rattling. And so like, all right, there has to be an opening. We got to get inside of here. But then we notice on the side, there's a security guard. We see his light. So we kind of just stop. And it's like, oh, he's got to wait and he won't see us. And it seems like he's going back on his path. So now we start trekking a little further. But then we see him turn around and he does kind of spot us. So now we book it. Because security or not, it's like, whether you have a badge that's ironed on or a real badge, I don't want to get in trouble. My skin color does not allow for any kind of misdeeds, you know. And I have a clean record. I've done nothing bad in my life, so it's like I can't get caught. Like, you know. So we just run. There's like this gazebo. We run past the gazebo, and then there's woods. So we run straight into the woods, and we're running hard and fast. At some point, there is like a cliff drop, but it's pitch black. There are no lights. So we just run and we're just kind of like this in midair, just going. All right.
Like straight Coyote and Roadrunner.
Yeah. And I will also note Jose is a fast motherfucker. I am not known for being fast. Like I got some little sprint in me, but not for long. I was neck and neck with Jose this whole run. We were just together. Right. And we landed. Like it felt like a long drop of at least 6 feet. That's a good enough a drop for you to fall on your ass and get hurt. No one fell. We just landed and kept on running through these woods, not hitting a tree. Eventually we break through and there's just open plains and there's nothing. We're still running.
Don't know where we're going.
Yeah, we don't know where we're going. We're practically lost at this point. But we're just going on pure man stinks and
man stinks are a thing, Marie. Man stinks are a thing.
At that time for us, yes, it was definitely a thing. We finally see it. Like we do stop because we're like, all right, there's no one coming after us. So we just start going down the trail. And eventually we find the van. And lo and behold, like everyone's at the van and security is at the van.
No.
Yeah. And they start questioning everybody. It's like, who is this? Let's see your IDs and everything like that. This is where things get miraculous and amazing. Not spooky, unfortunately, but Jose and I, who have had the most alcohol this night, somehow talk our way through this whole situation. We clear the whole thing up. It's like, oh, we're sorry, we're lost. We're just trying to figure out, trying to get out of here and everything. As you see, it's so dark and stuff. And they're like, oh, have you guys been drinking? It's like, no, we haven't been drinking at all. Like, we can walk a line. We're totally fine. It's like, we can do the things. We're good. Like, let's just get our friends out of here. It's like, we didn't know that this was a closed off place. We're so sorry. Let's just get out of here, And they're like, all right, just don't get back in your kids or whatever. We're like, all right, we'll get everyone out. And it was just an amazing feat. And of course we leave. The girls are pissed off. It's like, we never should have been there. Why did we go there? Me and Jose are pissed off. We didn't get to see anything. Nothing happened.
Everyone's pissed off for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, it's like, well, nothing really happened. That's not really a spooky story. What's the whole point of that? Well, that's actually the pre-story.
Oh, no.
We end up going back. And this time it's me, Jose, and we went with Tanya's brother and friend, because Tanya's brother's like, I didn't get to do anything. I wanted to go next to the building.
Yeah,
he had to play night protector. Or same night?
This is a different night.
Okay.
This is a different night. And we had one girl was with us, and this was our friend Lisa from Mexico. That person I don't think you've met, Mike.
Yeah, no, that person.
There's someone new for you.
All right. This is the part of the story that I haven't heard yet. I heard the other part of the story that you were just telling.
So you never knew we went back.
I knew you went back, but Jose never went into detail on the return trip.
Okay. So this is where things
the others that part of the story is just that's a funny story.
Yeah. But
like it's a good story to tell.
But it's important because why are we going back?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we're going back because like Jose is not a believer, but he's like you. He wants to believe and he just wants to see something. I've seen some things in my life, so I believe, but I always want to see more.
Yeah.
You know? And especially when you hear the stories of that place that people who filmed there heard things. It's like, I want to fucking see something. And like I said, Tanya's little brother, he feel like he missed out. He got robbed. And our friend Lisa, she's adventurous. She's like, yeah, let's go. I'm all right. Let's just do this. So we all drive up there. And it's Simon, me, Jose, Lisa, Tanya's younger brother, and his friend. And we go up a different path this time. And this is another path to like another main entrance. So we have to kind of like actually go through a gated area, like this gate that's kind of like torn open a little bit. And you really got to sneak in and be a little bit more careful. So we get up there, we go very slowly. We got to the building, we're looking around. And then all of a sudden, as we turn the corner, and this is where the main door is, we see something. There is it's a typical thing. There's a shadowy figure. Now, what made this shadowy figure though stand out to us is that it was a full moon. So we have the light of the moon shining down at the front of the building. We can see everything clearly. So it's not like, oh, it's a shadowy figure, we couldn't see shit. It's like, no. I have my glasses on. With my glasses on, I have 20/20 vision. Jose has the eyes of a fucking eagle. All right.
He's got superpowers, this guy. He runs fast. He got the eyes.
Seriously, no, like Jose has seen
forever.
things at night, like in the dark, like when we're like driving somewhere. He's like, oh, I can see that sign right there. That's Flexburg Street. It's like Flexburg Street. You can't see that. There's only trees over there. And we get there and we see the sign. It's like, okay, that was easily too far for anyone to see. How did you see that? So it's like, and this thing is probably, would say 10 feet, 15 feet away from us. So it's far, but not that far. And so we stop and we're like, all right, is that really a thing? And now we're seeing it come closer though. As it's coming closer, I point out, I was like, that thing don't have any feet. I was like, that thing is floating. There is nothing under this black thing that is coming towards us. And it's like, we all see this, right? Like, this was clear. We all see this. Like, we all looked at each other. We looked at it. It's getting closer. And at this point, I was like, all right, I'm satisfied enough. I was like, we saw something.
I'm out.
It's at that point, it's like, all right, this can get a little too scary. I immediately pick up our friend Lisa and book it. I was like, it's running time. I will also note we did not drink anything at this point. If we did, it was maybe a shot, but there's nowhere near the amount of alcohol from the night before. So we're pretty much sober this night. And like, we all just like, all right, we saw the thing. We've run, but like, it was clear. It's like, we saw a thing. There was a thing there that none of us could explain at all. And it's like, if it was just like a dark thing and there was a shadow on the ground, it's like, all right, that's probably a person that we can't see. But it's like, to see a shadow coming towards you with nothing on the ground, like no shadow on the ground, no feet or anything like that. It's like, all right, that's some weird shit. How do you explain that weird shit? I've never seen some shit like that.
Explain it to me. Tell me what it was. How tall was it? Like, how high was it off the ground? Like, what shape?
Like, I'd want to say is probably the space between the shadowy figure and the ground was probably like a foot or so. But again, it's also, like I said, it's probably a good like 10 feet away from us. So that's a give or take or whatever. But it probably had around a height between a 5 to 6 foot person.
Okay.
You know. But yeah. But it was a decent build of a body.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the spooky thing that we all got to see together at that location. And yeah, Jose has never told that part of the story because Jose doesn't tell good stories.
I will say, because the first part of the story I have heard before from Jose. You went into significantly more detail, and I actually felt that I was there through your telling of the story, rather than just like listening to a story. The way that, like, the detail that you were putting into it, I was like, I'm right there with you. I got this. Like I feel it.
I'm running in midair like this with you guys.
I remember though, at one point, I think once you mentioned this shadowy figure, the way Jose told me the story is it was the same night, not 2 different nights.
Oh no,
which
yeah, it
is
was
where
definitely 2 different nights.
yeah, which is where I got confused, or not confused, but like thought it was. Never heard that story.
Yeah.
But he also made it kind of seem like the scene from the Lost World where they're running through the tall grass and like
Okay.
the shot, the tall, the high shot where you see the raptors kind of closing in.
Yeah.
He made it seem like that, only the grass wasn't moving.
Okay.
That's how he made it sound through that whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's crazy.
I guess from my perspective, there was an intense moment for each of those nights.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt for me, I had to go into action mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, because it's like first night don't want to get caught, and then second night it's like, well, the person who was with us was closer to me than anyone else, so it's just like, well, I got to protect her.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
It was like fear on different levels both nights.
Yeah.
Just different types of fear.
Yeah.
Well, then I want to go to this place now. So bad.
It must have been good because as it's going through, I'm seeing your eyes like little by little. It's like it's working. It's
keep going. Give it to me.
What did we call this the other day, Marie? As your
Plasma
ectoplasm?
leak.
Yeah, plasma
leakage. Yeah, plasma leak.
Those are not tears. It's just plasma.
Yes, liquid plasma coming out of my ducts. Well, that was creepy.
Yeah, you're like protecting yourself under the blanket.
Yeah.
For a little of it.
Which for me is funny because on my screen, like you are on the side of me, so it's as if like you are actually protecting yourself from
shielding myself from you.
It's like, don't hurt me with your words.
Your words are making me leak. Oh man, I want to see something. I want to see a figure.
I've unfortunately seen a few figures in my life.
You guys both seen figures. Where's my figure?
You just heard hangers going through the closet.
Bullshit.
I mean, in all fairness, sounds are equally as scary when you know nothing is there.
Yeah.
You know, when things are moving, it's like, well, why is that moving? It's just me in here. Why is that happening? You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I just really want to see something. Okay, you know what? Next place to go, I'm bringing a Ouija board just for you, George.
I mean, you don't have to do that. Like, I didn't bring a Ouija board with me to that building.
But what if you did, though? But what if you did?
I might not be George right now then, if I did.
Yeah, just make sure it's actually enchanted by a Wiccan.
Okay.
And not just something you buy off the shelf.
And not Parker Brothers.
Yeah, Parker Brothers,
yeah.
Okay.
Make sure it's got sure it has that power.
Yeah, it needs it. Okay.
All right. The only time I did a Ouija board, it was just one of those things where it's like, yeah, no, I don't fucking believe in this shit. Cause the person that I was with was only like, I'm only asking the questions. Like, well, then you know the fucking answers.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. What? Like, let me ask a question. Like, why do you have to be in control of it? Like, how do I know that you don't fucking like you're not moving it around?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, no, I don't fucking believe in this shit.
I mean, it's like a joint. You've puff past, you know. So
yeah,
same situation. Just I don't know what move ask. I don't know.
Yeah.
Move ask. Perfect.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets a turn. Yeah. I'm not gonna ever do that, but I believe in etiquette.
Yeah. Ouija board etiquette.
Yeah.
move back.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's as much like I believe a lot. It's probably because of my upbringing, you know, being Spanish. We churches involved and
said La Llorona and
yeah, that's probably more Mexican for us. Like we have Santeria being from the islands. Because Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, even Haitians, especially, for them it's all Santeria, black magic kind of stuff. And my mom would tell me stories like her grandmother would do little bits of that kind of stuff to like for protection and everything. Yeah, just little bits. Okay. But it was enough where it's like
not enough to go full like dark side, but
yeah, like she knew what you shouldn't touch, kind of things.
Yeah,
and I remember growing up because my mom knew she knows about it through her mother. I had a friend, we watched The Craft, and he's like, I want to be a witch.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, witches are girls. So there's that. And then B, it's like, I believe that it could be real to some extent, but it's just like, you don't want to mess with that. He's like, no, I really want to learn. And so my mom's like, if you want to do that, I will take you to the store for that. You're not going on your own. And they're called botanicas for us, which is like little witchcraft stores. And that's where you can get like your holy candles and stuff like that. But they also have some weird, creepy stuff, like those weird voodoo dolls and stuff like that. But like, I don't know if you ever seen. I want to say they had them in Candyman, and probably movies like that where there's like the African American puppet things.
The OG Candyman or the new Candyman?
OG Candyman. Yeah. But there'd be like weird stuff like that in there, and the person who would run it would know some weird, funky shit, and they'd have books that they can give you, and so she helped him buy a book so that he can like learn some stuff.
Your mom?
My mom.
Your mom's awesome. Oh man, I wish I knew her when I was 15 and I went through my craft phase. I'd have been like, I want to be the corner of fire. Can you make me the witch of fire, please? I want to call the corners. Let's go.
At the same time, though, can you imagine being then that kid's mom? And it's just like, your friend's mom bought you a witchcraft book?
Yeah.
But that's the kind of thing, like, you should be talking to that person's parent before you just help him.
She showed you The Exorcist as well? Like, what's happening?
But I also want to point, we're like in 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's the craft. Yeah. That's what
yeah. It's like, we're young kids.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's a conversation you have with that person's parents. You don't just buy them a witchcraft book. You know, me and him would hang out, and like when it's about to rain, he'd start saying some shit, you know, and then all of a sudden it starts raining. It's like, I did that. It's like, no, the forecast did that. The weatherman told us it was going to rain today. You didn't do this. You did.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Do you know why the Native American rain dance works?
Because they saw rain clouds?
No, because they don't stop until it rains.
Keep going.
I mean, you never saw a fat Native American. That there's something to that.
You never saw a fat apostle.
Always exercising.
Oh, you guys.
Well, I think that's
plasma's coming out of her.
This is just like laughing plasma.
Yeah.
Like
joyful plasma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's wrap this up with what's everyone getting into for this holiday season. You know, what do you we won't say what's on the queue per se, but what activities are you partaking to enjoy this All Hallows Eve?
I'll go first.
Minnie.
Yeah, I'll go first. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I think I'm gonna do a rewatch of Cabin in the Woods and Trick or Treat this weekend.
Nice pairing.
I like the dark comedies, the not quite horror films, but definitely in that field, but has all that comedy aspect. So
yeah,
I think I'm gonna do that.
I like that. I'm with that.
I've been watching horror movies like every night for the past like month, so I'm gonna keep it going. Probably watch more Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yeah.
And when you have kids, it's like you're kind of just like focused on them and Halloween, so focusing on that. And it's gonna be one of the nicest Halloweens temperature wise ever that I can remember this year. So pumped. There's no snow yet, so trick or treating is gonna be awesome. Usually there's snow and like
yeah.
It's gonna be good this year.
It's good. No sloshing around.
No.
Well, I got a few games this weekend. You know, Call of Duty came out, not a big deal, but the gold edition of Resident Evil Village, I don't know if that can be seen there, the reflection.
Looks like it's still in the wrapper.
It's still in the wrapper. Yeah, I haven't opened it yet.
Nice.
All
right. I've beat the game once before when it first came out, but with the gold edition, there's a bunch of added features and stuff like that. You get to play as some of the bosses, like Lady Dimitrescu and everything. So it's like, I get to be a bad guy. Yes, please. So I'm excited for that. I love Resident Evil. It's my favorite horror video game franchise. So
I've never played it.
I'll be hopping into that.
It's dope.
I'm gonna save it for my show coming with you guys. I'll do that, Resident Evil. And I got my retro stuff all ready. Got my Nintendo down there. So
yeah, I've seen the little teasers. I'm excited for it.
It's coming. Replays it all. It's coming with you guys.
All right.
But with that is another, we'll say, bonus episode that we'll wrap up today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 parts.
In 3 parts. No one had to know that.
No one needs to know it was 3 parts.
Listen, if we're taking this fix it and post thing seriously, I'm gonna make you fix it and post.
You're gonna learn that I do things different from Dan. All right, everyone's gonna learn I do things different from Dan. All right? I'm a band-aid man. All right, which means things get loose.
Let's fucking roll with it.
Yeah, everyone, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching again. As always, you can follow us at Not a Strong Start on our Twitter, Instagram, here on YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. I am the host, George. I am Nicolopoulos on Instagram and Twitter. Marie, where can we follow you?
I'm on Instagram at Marie Reviews Everything, and I am the creamy filling center right now still. That's what I am.
We got to make sure that it's that layout.
It's not going to show like that for everyone.
It won't. It won't.
I am Minnie, and you can find me at That Guy 2022. I'll probably change it to 2023 once January hits.
Good to know.
But that's on Instagram because fuck Twitter.